Hey y'all, my name is Taylor. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. So today I have a book haul for y'all. I accumulated enough, I think, to do a decent sized haul video. I have some that are from Christmas presents. I got some with a gift card that I got for Christmas. A lot of thrifted books. So let's get started. I'll put in the description box some timestamps so you can skip around as you would like. I have some children's books that I got from my daughter that I thought I'd share. And then obviously books for me, and I separated them into how I got them. So like thrifted, and then our Christmas books, gifted books, and then also I separated them by nonfiction and fiction. So hopefully that'll make sense in the description box, like the different timestamps. So feel free to pop around as you so choose. So children's books. So the very first one I want to mention is actually a gift from a sweet subscriber, and that is from Kathy, and she got my daughter the Pat the Bunny set. There's 3 of them in here, so Pat the Bunny, Pat the Puppy, and Pat the Cat. But she had seen my video about motherhood and life Q&A video. And I was talking about reading to my daughter, and she asked me if I'd read Pat the Bunny, and I said I'd never even heard of Pat the Bunny, and she so kindly sent this to us. But it's like a interactive book, and you can literally pat the bunny. There's like a little... This bunny is so soft, y'all. I'm like, I want to pat the bunny too. So this is super cute, and we have really appreciated and used them, and my daughter is fascinated with patting the bunny especially. So thank you again, Kathy, so much. I already told her thank you in the comments, but also I wanted to mention on here as well because that was so super sweet and very, very much appreciated. Right now more so by me because I know, but one day I'll be able to tell her where this came from, which is super cool. First up we have Charlotte's Web, and this is pretty cool. I hadn't seen one, but it is an illustrated version. And I think I read Charlotte's Web a long time ago, but I don't think I've ever seen this version before. It was thrifted. All of the children's books that I'm about to talk about are thrifted. So I was super excited to get this one. I think it was like $1 or something, which is exciting. And so I got also, let me put them in order, some Narnia books. Yay! I am working my way through the Chronicles of Narnia this year. I read the first 2 last year. Hopefully I'll read The Horse and His Boy, I think it is. Do we even have that one? Yeah, The Horse and His Boy next. I do already have The Magician's Nephew, but it's a different edition, so I thought, you know, just to complete the set, these are all the same type. Don't have all of them yet, but I'm keeping my eyes peeled to complete the owned set. So those are those. Fell again. I also have, ran across these. I've never seen these before, but they were like $1 or something. I don't know. But no, I think they were part of a 5 for $1 deal that was going on, which was really cool. So so yeah, these are Landmark books. Have y'all ever read these before? I don't even remember them as a kid, but I've seen Have You Meet the Person, I think it is, but I've never heard of, well, I guess it is Meet. Maybe it's a different edition. I don't know. I'm used to the big old bobblehead ones, you know what I'm talking about? But yeah, I have Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, and I tried to see if they had any other ones, but these are the only 2 that I saw. I got some American Girl content. I got books. That's the word. I'm not a huge fan of current American Girl stuff, but the original stuff from when I was a kid, like Samantha, really enjoyed Samantha. She was one of my favorites, and so was Felicity. But I got, this is book 2 out of her books, and then I've never seen this one before, so I grabbed those 2. And then I thought this one was really cool. I am a huge fan of a pretty picture book. And this is Ben's Revolution, Benjamin Russell and the Battle of Bunker Hill. And maybe I'll learn something from this because I have heard of the Battle of Bunker Hill, but never heard of Benjamin Russell. And yeah, I don't really know much about it, but I picked it up because this is practically like brand new. But I mean, like, the illustrations are just perfection. Like, you learn something and you see pretty pictures. Like, yes, please. This is my kind of children's book. So I grabbed that one. Super exciting find. Next I got Will You Be My Sunshine. I'm trying not to get it to reflect. But isn't it so cute? Like the little mice. And it's a little board book, which is more appropriate for her age right now. But it's just so stinking cute. And it's in really good condition. And it was like $1 or something. I don't know. But I just had to grab it. And I was like, oh, so cute. And then The Classic Tale of the Velveteen Rabbit, or How Toys Become Real. And I've never seen this edition before. It's like, obviously you can see what the outside looks like, but it also has the illustrations as well. The Velveteen Rabbit always made me sad. As a little person, but it's such a timeless tale. So I'm like, the little boy left him, but he becomes, spoiler alert, he becomes a real boy, not a real boy, a real boy rabbit. So there's that one. And then I picked this one up as part of a 5 for $1 deal. And I'd never seen this before, but y'all know I love a good picture book. And this one seemed really interesting. It's called Puzzle Island. Written, devised, and illustrated by Paul Adshed. And I don't know, it just seems like the illustrations are gorgeous. And you have to use your brain to read this to figure out the puzzles. So it has like a treasure map-esque type thing. So I guess you figure, I don't know. I just thought it was really cool looking, and I thought I would give it a shot because, you know, I'm a sucker for a picture book. So that's that one. The last children's book is actually gifted to my daughter for Christmas. It's 100 favorite Bible verses for mommy and me. So it has like different Bible verses in it. It's kind of like a devotional type thing. So there's one for mommy, and then there's one for me as the kid. And yeah, I think I've mentioned it several times. If you're new, I adore owls. I have a slight obsession with them. Like my house is filled with owl stuff. Actually, there's something behind me and right there too. But I really love owls. So her aunt, my daughter's aunt, my sister-in-law, she got her this because it's got owls on it, and then also it's some Bible verses too. So that was perfect. All right, I'm going to get into the nonfiction books next, and actually I think all of these are thrifted. So I'll start with like the mom stuff since I'm on the children train right now. So I never heard of this one, but I was like, maybe I'll give it a try. Missionary Mom, Embracing the Mission Field Right Under Your Roof. And it's by Chantel Brewer. And the back says, when you see Christians who are called to be missionaries changing the world soul by soul, staying at home doing day-to-day parenting can feel like you're stuck in an uninspiring life. Mom, don't despair. You have your own sacred calling to a mission field of vital importance, your children. So that's a little bit more, but that's just the first blurb. So I thought it was cute, and I, see what it has to say, because I definitely agree with that the mission field relates to children too, your own children. I also got the Moms on Call Basic Baby Care, the first 6 months. I mean, my daughter's older than this now, but I thought for future kids it might be helpful. I did use a little bit of the Moms on Call stuff. I bought the digital version of this, and there were some helpful things in there. You have to use your discretion. I don't agree entirely with everything in there, but it is kind of a starting point to when you're a new mom and you feel like you have lost all control and have no idea what to do. At least this can kind of point you in the right direction so you can at least try and figure out what to do. At least that's how I felt. So yeah, I grabbed that one for future kids. And then also for future kids, I grabbed a baby name book. I don't know, like, why am I showing you this? You probably don't care, but a 50,001. The one is important. Baby name book. Next up, I got a Biltmore guidebook, I guess you could call it. But it has like pictures of the interior of the house, and then some pictures of some history as well. So there's that. I love Biltmore. It's about 2 hours from where I live in Asheville, North Carolina. And I grew up there, going there to visit. Right now, the prices are pretty pricey for a ticket. It's like $100 for a ticket or something. It's crazy. However, it was part of my childhood. I would go every year during Christmas time. It was just the most magical place I'd ever been to. There are Christmas trees everywhere. They have lights on outside, just making it all magical. And the tree in the grand hall is massive. I'm talking like they put presents and ornaments on it that are like bigger than your head. And the organ's playing when you walk in and see the massive tree. And sometimes they had carolers in the winter garden, and the scenery of surrounding the house, like all the woods and the mountains, and then all the history of you know, the Vanderbilt family, and you know, just history of that time period, and all the details of the house, all the architectural details, and the innovations of having like plumbing in the house and electricity in the house, even for some of the servants. Like, I could go on, but I love Biltmore, and I was really excited to find a little guidebook for it so I can marvel at the beauty from home, because I'm not sure when I'll go back again, but I love Biltmore. If you've never been, you probably need to put it on your bucket list, just saying. If you have been, fangirl with me, or, you know, all the fandom of Biltmore. Let's talk about it. Now I have some nonfiction Christian nonfiction books. There we go. I actually got two, I guess, of the same series, I guess, but these are by Jen Wilkin, and it's No One Like Him, 10 Ways God is Different from Us and Why That's a Good Thing, and In His Image, 10 Ways God Calls Us to Reflect on His Character. So I thought those were cute, and I had to get more books to complete a deal, so I would get more off for getting more books. So I grabbed those up. I have heard of Jen Wilkin. She wrote where is it? Oh, there it is. Women of the Word, a how to study the Bible with both our hearts and our minds. Still have not gone to this yet, even though it's tiny, but hopefully I will one day. But I've heard good things about, I'm not going to be able to put that back. I've heard good things about Jen Wilkin, so I didn't mind grabbing some more of her books to complete my purchase. Alright, so next I have Lisa TerKeurst, The Best Yes, Making Wise Decisions in the Midst of Endless Demands. And I've heard a lot about Lisa TerKeurst. She has a Good Boundaries book that I'm interested in. Haven't run across it in the thrift store yet, but decided to try her out. And then I've also seen this one everywhere. I think it's my books fell into my ring light. Sorry. I've also heard or seen this book around a good bit. I think it's a recent release. Waymaker, Finding the Way to the Life You've Always Dreamed of by Anne Voskamp. And I've heard good things about it, so, you know, I grabbed it. Why not? And then last, I think, for nonfiction, unless I'm missing something, is You're Not Enough and That's Okay by Allie Beth Stuckey. I really enjoy Allie Beth Stuckey's Relatable podcast. She is where I get a lot of my current events information, because she, if you haven't heard of her before, she relays information but kind of also commentates on it from a conservative but also a Christian perspective. And I think she does a really good job with her podcast. And I've been wanting to pick up her book. I had it on my wish list for a little while, like kind of debating, because like I haven't actually read a nonfiction in 2 years. But I really wanted her book to see what she wanted to write about. And I saw this in the thrift store for $2, and I was like, yes, please. So, and it's all pretty in pink, so I hope to get to it. It doesn't seem like that daunting or, too long, so own it now. I also got some Bible studies thrifting as well. So one of them is Tour of Duty, Preparing Our Hearts for Deployment by Sarah Horn, a Bible study for military wives. So if you didn't know, I am a military wife, so I thought this might be helpful at some point, but it is completely unused, so that's awesome. But curious to see what it has to say. And then there were 6 Bible studies by the Daily Grace Co. that I found at Goodwill for $1 each. And I know they have dollar day sales, but this way I get them immediately and I don't have to pay for shipping, so it worked out. But there's Ruth Fields of Grace. And what I love, if you're not familiar with the Daily Grace Co., they have obviously Bible study materials, pens, markers, other unique stuff that's faith oriented. But what they're kind of known for their Bible studies is they have like pretty pictures, and they're, from what I understand, their Bible studies are very, very good. I haven't done a Bible study like this, like an individual book or topic study, but I am doing their chronological Bible study from cover to cover. So I've really been enjoying that. So I've been pleased with what I've gotten from them so far. So yeah, this one's one of them. There is Mercy in the Storm, a study on the book of Jonah, the Sermon on the Mount. They're all so pretty. Faithful, the Covenant God from Eden to Eternity, and the Lord's Prayer. And lastly, Daughters of Grace, the Women of the Bible and the God of Grace. That one's really pretty too. So I don't know when I'll be able to get to these, but I wanted to snag them because I've never seen Daily Grace Co. stuff at the thrift store before, much less a lot of them, and in such like brand new condition, untouched. So I was really excited about all of these. Now we're going to talk about the books, Christian fiction, I think almost all of these are, that I thrifted or bought from a used bookstore like Mr. K's. So this one is from Mr. K's, and it is The Mark of the King by Jocelyn Green. This was my top 3 book last year for 2023 that I read. Highly recommend it. It is historical Christian fiction about a little known part of American history where some French convicts were forced to immigrate to the New Orleans Territory colony. And well, the purpose of it was to force population growth, make the colony successful by putting people in it and populating it. And so one woman was falsely accused of a crime, and so she's part of this group of people that were forced to marry, and yeah, so it is also a love story as well. There's a lot of hard-hitting topics in this book, so if you're worried about trigger warnings, I do have a Goodreads and Storygraph review of this with that listed, so if you want to know, check it out. But I do think it is an excellent book and very good faith. Highly recommend it. And I was so excited that I ran across it for $3, and I was like, yay, I can own it now. Next up, we have In the Shelter of Hollythorn House by Sarah E. Ladd. And I don't know, this looks like it's part of a series. It's published by Thomas Nelson, so I don't know if it's Christian per se. It may just be clean. I don't know. Thomas Nelson. It's not always Christian books nowadays, but So the tagline on the back says, "A young widow faces an uncertain future until an unexpected encounter with her first love gives her heart a second chance in this Regency romance set on the Yorkshire moors." So, sounds like a second chance romance, which we'll see how I feel about it, but I grabbed it because it was cheap and it looked like it was clean, so we'll see. This one, I have a Colleen Coble book, and it is Leaving Lavender Tides, a Lavender Tides novel, and it's so, like, little. Like, look at the size difference. I don't know why it's in this format, but I don't like getting little books like this because they don't line up well in my bookshelf, but whatever. I grabbed it because it helped me reach a quantity amount for a book deal. So I do like Colleen Coble. I've read her Annie Peterson series last year and really enjoyed it. Haven't tried any of her other books yet, but I'm not sure which number this is in the series, so I'm not going to read anything about it, but it's probably, I think it's romantic suspense, but I will try to link all of these in the description box in case you want information, but I'm trying to be short and sweet, but give you enough to look into it more if you are interested. So that's that one. This is my first Angela Hunt book that I've owned, or I haven't read her yet. So The Woman from Lydia, The Emissaries, Book 1, and I think this is a pretty recent release too. So I was excited to find that. I have heard mixed reviews about Angela Hunt being kind of more loose with biblical retellings or biblical stories. Like, she takes some liberties. So I'm not sure how I'll like it, but I'll give it a shot. So it says, widowed Eodia? Yeah, Eodia. Known to her neighbors as the Lydian woman, seeks to make a fresh start by moving to the foreign city of Philippi. She finds new purpose after meeting Paulos, apostle to the Gentiles, who opens her eyes to helping those in need, particularly women and those who have been enslaved. So there says more, but yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a biblical retelling about the woman from Lydia from the Bible. I know nothing about that, and I know she exists. That's about it. So I'll probably read that part of the Bible first, and then possibly pick this up around that time. It'll probably be a while because I'm chronologically going through the Bible, and I'm only in Judges, so it's probably going to be a while before I touch this. So, yeah. Oh, I have another Colleen Coble book. This one is Cry in the Night, a Rock Harbor mystery. And so the Annie Peterson series is kind of like the next set of events that occur in the same universe, I guess, same world, same area. So this is the original series, which I think there's quite a few of them. I have no idea which one it is because there's no number to tell me. So I'm not going to potentially spoil myself and you in case we don't know, in case it's not book 1. So probably, I think it's romantic suspense as well. So got that one. A Million Little Choices by Tamara Alexander. And it is, I believe, contemporary Christian fiction, I think. Sometimes secrets just won't stay hidden is the tagline. So, Claire Powell's life is turned upside down when her beloved husband admits to a near affair, but when Stephen accepts a partnership with an Atlanta law firm without consulting her and buys a historic southern home sight unseen, it pushes their already fractured marriage to the breaking point. Claire's world spirals, and she soon finds herself in a marriage she no longer wants and a house she never asked for. Oh, it's dual timeline. In 1863, Charlotte Thursman, pregnant and trapped in a marriage to an abusive husband, struggles to protect her unborn child and the enslaved members of her household. Desperate, she is determined to right the evils her husband and others like him commit. But how can one woman put together an end to such injustice, especially if her husband makes good on his threat to kill her? Both Claire and Charlotte discover truths about themselves they never realized, along with secrets long hidden, that hold the power to bring God's restoration if only they choose to let it. Okay, it's a dual timeline. I didn't realize that. I think it's a pretty recent release as well, so I recognized the cover from seeing it recently, and so I just grabbed it. I didn't even know what it was about. More books falling. Oops. Alrighty, so I have This Present Darkness by Frank E. Peretti. I have its companion novel somewhere. Oh, there it is. I was looking right at it. Found it. Alright, Piercing the Darkness. So now I have the duology. Do I know which one is first? No. Will I find out later when I get to this? Yes. But, yeah. Have both of those now. I've heard they're good spiritual warfare books. So, that's why I own them. Alright, hadn't heard anything about this one, but it is published by Worthy Publishing. The Irish Healer by Nancy Harriman. That's what it looks like. Yeah, I'm not sure. It says a novel, so I think it's a standalone. 1830s London is rich with promise and fraught with peril. Rachel Dunn and James Edmonds are about to discover that love is too. That's all we need to know. Yeah, so I just grabbed this because it looked like a historical fiction. Looks like it's Christian. I don't know for sure since I haven't heard anything about it, but I grabbed it, so. Alright, I have heard a lot about Lori Wick. She is pretty popular in like classic Christian fiction, I would say, like the older stuff. And I've heard of The Princess, but I'd never seen this edition. Isn't it so cute? Like, there's something about this cover that I really think it's cute. It kind of gives me almost like Anastasia vibes, almost. Like her hair's red and she's dancing and she's got like a handsome man dancing with him. So I couldn't even read you the back if I wanted to, so look it up in case you're interested. But I thought it was cute. I got a Christmas collection, and historically, like, I was not interested in Christmas books, Christmas collections, short stories, novellas. Wasn't really interested, but this past year I devoted all of my December to Christmas books, and I had a jolly good time. And I'm on camp Christmas books now, so I saw this one. I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. We'll see if I like a Christmas collection set. It's got 9 historical Christmas romances from America's Great Plains, a Prairie Christmas collection, Tracy Peterson, Tracy Bateman, Deborah Rainey, and a lot of other people that you can read about if you so choose. But yeah, so, and the edges are like, what is that word? Beveled? Is that the right word? I don't know, but the pages are like old looking. Yeah. My last thrifted Christian book is The Oath by Frank E. Peretti. And I've heard good things about Frank E. Peretti. He's the same one that, well, I can't find it in my pile of books anymore, but This Present Darkness, Piercing the Darkness, same author. Because I can't say I would naturally gravitate towards this type of looking book. Like, it looks pretty dark and scary. I'm scared to try this, but I saw it for like a couple of dollars in the thrift store, and I was like, well, it's practically brand new and it's in good condition, so I don't know. I'll give it a try. If you've read this, tell me if you think I'd like it. I don't know if my personality would match well with it, but you know, maybe it's a good October, like, spooky feeling type read. If I'm gonna venture in that scary book realm, I would want to do it with a Christian author that some people have already said good things about, because I definitely don't want to do true secular horror. So if you've read this, please let me know. Gifted, well, Christmas books. So what I got for Christmas, I got North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. And yeah, look at this edition. Isn't it really cool looking? I really like it for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, it's got a back, and you even get her image, which I've never actually seen her before. So that's pretty cool. But North and South is an American. No, it's not American. It's a British classic. I'm losing my mind. Okay, it's a classic. It's a love story. If you like Pride and Prejudice, you'll probably like this. I really highly recommend it. It is Dickens era. This woman's family, Margaret's family loses their income. Her father was a pastor, reverend, whatever you want to call it. He was part of I think he was part of the Anglican Church, if I remember correctly, but something about the church structure, environment, something about the church made him feel uncomfortable. So he decided to leave being a pastor. So there was all this scandal, because you're not supposed to do that. So their family moves from the South, which is like idyllic, pretty, like Margaret loves it there. Everything she knows is there. She's got some attachment to it. So they move to the North, which is like the polar opposite, and very much industrial era, lots of factories and lots of smoke from the factories. It's just kind of the epitome of the Industrial Revolution going on in the North. People are more brusque, more fast-paced, life is hard. So Margaret is dealing with coming to terms with reality of living there, and then she also meets a man, Mr. Thornton, who is just appears to be very gruff and rude and mean, and Margaret doesn't like him at first, and then things go from there. But yeah, that's why I say if you like Pride and Prejudice, you would probably like North and South, because it's kind of got some similar themes to it. A really epic love story, great character development. Mr. Thornton is one of my favorite characters ever. And the BBC miniseries version of North and South is perfection. It's one of my favorite pieces of film to watch ever. Highly, highly recommend that. But yeah, I went in a whole spiel about North and South, but I love this book. So I'm glad I can physically show it to people now and show it off. So I hope to get more editions, actually. So this is one of many to come, hopefully. All the next ones of these, I got a gift card from my place of employment, from bookshop.org. Bookshop.org. And so these are the ones I picked out. So first up, we have Cities of Smoke and Starlight by that's the series name, and Gate Chronicles Book 1 by Allie Ernest. And I just love this cover. I don't know, it just looks so cool, like steampunky, but also like, I don't know, like mysterious too. I follow this author on Instagram. She's like some clean authors I follow a lot of Christian and clean authors, and she's one of them. She's made some really cool trailers for this book, so I thought I'd support. I think she's an indie author. Yeah, pretty sure it is. But it is a science fantasy novel, perfect for fans of Dune, Pride and Prejudice, and anyone who believed Rogue One needed a romantic subplot. So that sounds pretty cool to me. So I'm going to give this a shot, so I'll let y'all know. The Lady and the Lion Heart by Joanne Bischoff, and this was my second favorite book of the year. So now I own my top 3 from last year physically, so I'm so excited. But this is historical fiction, centered around a circus. This aspiring nurse, Ella, she meets this guy from the circus who has a sick baby. She helps nurse the baby, but it's so much more than that. You see Charlie, who's the guy. Charlie Lionheart is just my favorite character of all time so far. He is just such a picture of sacrifice for his little girl, and the things he goes through for her is just so heartwarming, and just It's just so good. And there's also a salvation story in here. All the side characters are great. It also is true to the realities of the circus. It doesn't glorify or make light of the circus. It just kind of tells you what really happened in a circus setting, but also shows you the magical feeling side of it. Like, you know, circuses can be fun, but there's also a darker side to it too. So I think it did a good job of balancing that, because I don't typically like circus books because they're kind of over glorified and kind of put on this pedestal of being, you know, circuses are so great when they're really not in some cases. So anyways, I really, really recommend this book. It was so, so good. The faith was great. The content was great. The character development was great. I love it. Next, I have Hope Between the Pages by Pepper Basham, and this is part of a multi-author series called Doors to the Past, and they are dual timeline. And so this particular one, the historical time period is set in like the 1900s and at Biltmore. And I thought it was so ironic that I ran across the Biltmore thrifted nonfiction guidebook shortly after I read this. So I was like, yay, it just all fits together. But yeah, so I really, really enjoyed that historical side of it. I just read this book. I haven't even talked about it in the wrap-up yet for January. But yeah, so the historical time period is kind of like you get essences of like Downton Abbey, like that time, early 1900s, also kind of that Titanic time period too, but you really get like the upstairs and downstairs vibe, but it's clean, it's Christian. And so Sadie Blackwell is the book maiden at Biltmore, so she's kind of like the librarian. She matches books to whoever needs them that has access to the library. And so she's a servant, and there's a guest that comes to Biltmore that she meets, and I'll leave it there. But the modern timeline is Sadie's descendant, Clara, and Clara owns a bookstore that's been in her family for 100 years, and they can't find the deed to the bookshop, and so it's her mission to find the deed, but she's also uncovering some family secrets. And this book, it's so good. I'll talk more about it in my wrap up, but I'm really glad I own it. I bought it after I started reading it. I was like, I need to own this, so I did. I bought it. Actually, I bought this from Amazon. My bad. It's not in the right pile, but yeah, I bought it from Amazon. Moving back to the books that I got from bookshop.org. Oopsie. Okay, so Recorder by Kathy McCrum. And this is book one of the Children of Consortium. And this is published by Enclave, so it's Christian fantasy or science fiction. And I think it's about an AI doing something. The consortium is all, but Recorder can no longer obey. Recorder has no family, no friends, and no name. Donated to the consortium before birth, her sole purpose is to maintain and verify the records. A neural implant and drone ensure compliance, punishing for displays of bias. Suddenly cut off from controlling technology, Recorder tastes what it means to be human, but if the consortium discovers her feelings, everyone she knows will be in danger. With no name, no resources, and only an infinitesimal possibility of escape, Recorder's time is running out. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. Some people that I trust have raved about it, and the other books that are in the series, I think the next one is coming out next month, the third book. I think it's the last one. But I've been meaning to get to it, and so I bought it so that I have the physical copy. I have a strong feeling I'm going to like it. I do like science fiction, obviously fantasy, but I do like science fiction. I just haven't read much of it lately. But yeah, I adore science fiction, like TV shows and stuff, but I would like to like fantasy, science fiction books too, so this is my shot. So we have A River Between Us, a Civil War novel by Jocelyn Green. Jocelyn Green, she wrote The Mark of the King, which was in my top 3 last year. I really enjoy Jocelyn Green's writing. My goodness, I can't talk. I'm reading a book by her now, Veiled in Smoke. So I really enjoy her writing. She's very, very talented, and I think she writes faith really well too. And I'm intrigued by the cover. You know, I haven't read many Civil War books. But I trust her, so we're going to see how it goes. But the back says, Cora May Stewart's world collapses when Sherman destroys the Georgia cotton mill where she works and has her arrested for treason and sent north. Faced with impossible choices, she does what she must to keep a little girl safe in an unhospitable land. Convinced, he won't survive the war, Union Sergeant Ethan Howard determines to make his death count for something, but Cora May gives him a reason to live. Trouble is, he's just arrested her on Sherman's orders and torn her from home and family. Sergeant Howard is the last person Cora May wants to forgive and the only man who can bring her all the way home. So, we'll see. Unearth the Tides by Alyssa J. You can read her last name there. So this is a retelling of 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and I think there might be possibly a romance element to it. Okay, so Unearth the Tides is a fantasy retelling of Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, filled with mystery, found family, and themes of truth and forgiveness. Unearth the Tides is perfect for those who love the coziness of the classics and the thrill of adventure. So I'm pretty sure she's a Christian. I think this is self-published. So that's pretty cool. I'd like to support indie authors, but I'm pretty sure her other books have been Christian. I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% positive, but I thought it was cool looking too. Last but not least, we have Suspended in the Stars. It's book 1 in a series by E.A. Hendricks, and I mean, come on, y'all. Like, the cover. Isn't it glorious? Like, all the blues and purples and the starlight and the man and the woman gazing into each other's eyes. They don't look very happy, but hopefully it's in love, you know? So, yeah, this was definitely partially a cover by, I've heard of it, obviously, but, like, even before I knew what it was about, I still don't completely know what it's about, but the cover is so gorgeous. I had to have it. And this is, I don't know if is it indie published? No, it's not. Okay, it's not. But I still am intrigued. So this is, I'm trying to see what part to read. A girl in hiding, a boy on the run, the fate of the galaxy between them. I'm so excited. Like, a galaxy romance. Yes. I need this. And, like, look, it's got pictures and maps and I saw Star Trek. I'm even more excited now. I just saw this. Okay, so in her acknowledgments, or like it'd be called a dedication. Her dedication, it says, to Grandma and Grandpa. Okay, great. I love it. But it says, and to Gene Roddenberry, Captain Picard, and the rest of Star Trek, the Next Generation crew. You shaped my imagination from a young age with the exploration of different worlds and people groups. Suspended in the Stars was born from that experience. I'm a Trekkie, I admit it. I love Star Trek, so this makes me even more excited to read this. I'm so excited. All right, yay. All right, y'all, so that is all of the books. I think there's at least 30. I didn't get a quite accurate count, but there's quite a bit. I hope you found something that maybe you might be interested in too. Or if you've read any of these, please let me know your thoughts. If you think I'll like them, if I should prioritize some of them. I'm so excited. I love getting books. I'm getting more into the book collecting hobby part of it. I'm slowly growing my library. I'm getting another bookshelf to have more room, which is exciting. You may see that in an upcoming video once I get it. Yeah, so that's all of that. And yeah, I look forward to talking with y'all in the comments as always. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.